late. Oh my God. Oh, hello everyone. Oh my God, I'm never late. But my phone decided that it didn't want to allow me to go live. How crazy is that? So crazy, so crazy. So I'm just here. Hello. Thanks for joining. Oh, I apologize, you guys. My phone just said no, you can't go live. Hey, Michelle, thanks for joining. Oh my goodness. My goodness. Hey Leslie. Hey Trish. Hey everybody. Yes, I'm sorry. Y'all know I am never late, but again, my phone said, no, you can't go live. Trish, hi. Oh my gosh, now I'm just so crazy. I'm just not even going to talk too much. We're just going to get to the to my guest today, who I am so happy she took time out of her busy schedule to join Brunch with Diva. So what's up? So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to just bring her on. And hey, Jennifer, thanks for joining and get this show on the. Let me tell you, oh my gosh. Hello, everyone. Hello, Brittany. Thanks for joining. Just waiting on. There she is.
Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you. I'm
Wait,
like, can you hear
I was
me? Can you
like,
see me?
yeah, I can see you. I can hear you. I was like, wait, it is Wednesday.
Oh my God. I went to push the button to go live and it said, there's a problem with your, there's a problem. There's a problem. So my granddaughter said, go out the whole thing, come back in, open another app,
My
come back in. I'm like,
goodness. Well,
child, look.
we made it. We made it. That's all that's important.
Yes. So I am so happy that you took time out of your busy schedule to come have brunch with the Diva.
I'm always going to have brunch with the diva, and she asked me to come. I am humbled and truly thankful to be here.
Oh, thank you so much, Leslie. I really appreciate it. So I need to okay, so I made sure my lighting was good. It's so weird because I have all this light right here naturally, but I still need a little something to give me a
Okay.
little.
Yeah. Right now, mine is natural, and then by the time we get to the end of the hour, it starts coming down. Daylight savings.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank everyone for joining. Hey, Terry. I think I missed some people, but you guys know I love you and I'm shouting out to you.
Yeah.
Let's just get to it because you know what? I didn't have anything planned for us today.
That's
We're
okay.
just going to chat. We're just going to talk and see where it goes. But of course, I always have to ask my first question, which is tell us how you came up with your IG name or your Around the Way name. That's your whole entire platform name on everything. And then just give us a little backstory about reselling. And then we'll move on from there.
Well, sounds good. First, I want to tell you that I did show off for you today. I put my glasses on.
I
I put some
see.
earrings on. I
Hey.
went all out and put some Vaseline on my lips. Okay.
Not the Vaseline.
Hey, you know, that's
And
how I do.
yes, let's pay attention to the background because I'm loving it.
Brand new. Yes, my brand new background just came
You
today.
and Swag Slayer. You know what?
Uh,
I'm
uh,
gonna have to get on the bus with y'all.
uh,
Hey.
My name is Leslie Tucker. For those who don't know me, I am a reseller's passion. When I started this journey of reselling back in April 2016, I was just doing it as a hobby. So I was Leslie's Fashion Boutique. That's what I was here on IG, and that's what I was on Poshmark. As I started getting serious a year later, I said, let me think about a name that encompasses everything of who I am. And so a reseller's passion really just identifies everything that I'm passionate about. So when you think about me, you're like, you may think about my name, but you're going to say, that's Leslie. She likes to bake. She likes to cook. She's going to share lifestyle tips. She's going to motivate you. And you're not surprised that I'm talking about something different daily. Like, oh, I thought she was just a reseller. No, everything that brings me joy and fills my spirit, that's what I'm going to talk. So a reseller's passion. And my reselling story, I started reselling in 2016. I just celebrated 9 years with my husband. He is Posture Dude X. When I married Thomas, he was already reselling. He's a retired firefighter. And when we got married, I brought 4 children into our home, so I had to work full time. And so you know what happens with a couple. You're working, he's going his way, I'm going my way. And I was like, I have to find something that we can kind of do. We do like movies. It's a lot of things that brought us together, but I wanted to make sure I, kept that closeness. So I said to him one day, just show me what you do. Now, this is the funny thing, though. He showed me, he started kind of teaching me about reselling, but I still really wasn't into it because I was working. I was a supervisor by then. I was stressed every day. And he sourced. For the first 6 months, Thomas bought me everything. I didn't exactly.
Really?
So if you can imagine a man who only sold men's clothes, some of the stuff he would be bringing me. But everything he bought me, I put on Poshmark, and that was the app I started selling on. Thomas sold on eBay, but he would complain so much about eBay. I was like, yeah, I don't think I want to go there. So I remember this app my sister told me about in 2015 called Poshmark. And so I said, let me go and give it a try. I started Poshmark and another app called Vinted at the same time. And Poshmark appealed to me. So just as a hobby seller, literally almost giving things away. We hear about people, sellers who sell at their level. And that's where I was. I just sold whatever to make some lunch money for my daughter and to get myself a coffee because I'm really frugal and my income went towards paying bills and things. And I didn't want to go outside of that. But I was like, I could make a little bit of money here. And that's how I got started reselling.
Oh my God. And so I know that I always love to hear you talk about the time when you were baking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine that. Want to know about the baked goods. But
well, if you think I'm an all-around person, I am truly an all-around person. And I think that we should be that way. Like anything that brings us pleasure or joy, just do it. The cool thing that happens when we do that is we like it so much that eventually what happens, we can make money from it. Mm-hmm. So I've been baking since I was 6 years old. One day my grandmother handed me a box of cake mix and she was like, okay, read the ingredients and go for it. And I went in, got all my ingredients. And that was Sunday dinner. You grow up having Sunday dinner at home. My grandmother was that foundation. And every Sunday after church dinner. So from the time I was 6 to the time I was probably 16, I was the person who was baking. And by the time I was 12, I was making scratch desserts. Then I got married, had my children, not at 12, but when I...
a little bit after that.
I realized that I was like at 12. And then it was just something that I did. I just started baking and, playing around. And my income was really low because I'm the mom of 5 children. I gave birth to 5 children. And I didn't have a lot of money. So I just fell back on what I knew was baking. Then I have a daughter who's on the autism spectrum, Stephanie. She'll be 23 in a few weeks. And then my youngest daughter was born with a condition called hydrocephalus. So she has a shunt. And so I stopped working. I stayed at home for 8 years and made the commitment just to kind of stay home. But within that, I homeschooled. So that was part of our daily baking. Mm-hmm. And every weekend, making desserts. And I always have, no matter what, even to today, have a batch of chocolate chip cookie dough in the refrigerator. So just in case you need something sweet, it's there. So fast forward, once I got the clear for my daughter to go to school, I wanted to go back to work, but I didn't want to go back to corporate because I worked in corporate America and I didn't want to do that. So I just took what I knew baking and I applied to some cafes. I lived in the city of Philadelphia at the time. And I was hired. And for me, that is such a blessing. And that also speaks to following your dreams. And I am here to tell anyone, and like, I really stand on all the things that I talk about. I could never speak to you if I haven't experienced it. I have never set foot in culinary school. And when I got this job, I was told that they interviewed 23 people. And they picked me, a home baker who had only home experience. Exactly. And then I got this job and I worked in the middle of 2 young ladies who had graduated from the culinary school.
Wow.
And then when I was in the middle of a divorce. So at the same time, once my divorce went through, I had to pick up another income, went to apply to another cafe and same situation. He was a Greek baker and he hired me. He told me that he interviewed about 15 people and he hired me again as a home baker. And I was like so amazing. He taught me. And so through all of this, just being myself, I've had some great mentors along the way. Like my manager was a 22-year-old young lady from the culinary school. Yes. And these ladies, and then the other lady was about 30. And then my boss who was a Greek baker, he taught me everything, schnecken and baklava and,
Oh, I
oh
love
my
some
gosh,
baklava.
quiche. Just all the things that I got paid for this education. I didn't have to go to culinary school. And then I took that, I worked in several bakeries. I became the head baker at a cafe. That's when Thomas met me 9 years ago. I was baking, had my own kitchen. I made my own hours. I made great money. And I also had my own dessert business where I specialize in gluten, egg-free, dairy-free, vegan, and allergy specific is what I called it. So the love of
Oh
baking is
my
there.
God. Now look, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna need to try a little bit of some vegan cookies
I
on
will
this
send
weight
you.
loss journey.
I will
So
send
we're gonna have to work out some overnight
I've shipped before.
But I think that's amazing. Spoiled and PDX said that her mom baked as a side hustle all her life,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think that I think that's an amazing story because a lot of times we just don't know who is going to come into our lives
Yeah.
to enrich it
Yeah. And what
and
I
teach
want
us.
to say, we were talking about we're gonna talk over each other.
Yeah. But go ahead, go ahead.
No, but what I want to say, because I'm always about speaking life. And what
Yeah,
people don't understand is this is something that I took. I wasn't a professional. And I stepped out on faith and applied for a job. And that's the thing. They didn't seek me out. I went on Craigslist and I applied for this job. So if you have a vision or a dream, there's no way you're going to know it's going to work if you don't try it. You have to step
exactly.
out of your comfort zone and try it at least. I can at least, no matter what, for me, for my children, say that I've tried something and I've
Exactly.
succeeded. And if you fail, at least you've tried, and
Yeah.
that's why
Oh, I
Michelle will
mean,
tell you,
that's so true. I mean, you have to try.
yeah,
And just like when I said the other day, is that a lot of us, have fear of failure, but it's not so
yes,
much our fear of failure. We don't want to fail in front of others.
yes, yes.
And when all that does is just make you stronger to move
Oh
on
my
and
goodness.
try, pick yourself up and try again,
Let me tell you something.
in my Aaliyah voice.
Yeah.
So, So I
Yeah.
just think that you just have to, step out on faith, like you said, because I
Step
think
out
that I
every
do that
day.
every single day.
Yeah.
Step
Every
out
day
on
is a
faith
faith
with some,
walk. Every
yes,
day, when you lift your head off of that pillow, that's faith right there.
yes,
Faith is not
hallelujah,
about religion. Faith is walking out your door every single day and never know what's going to happen. We can,
right.
we can teach our children. We can try to keep them safe. But if we just have faith and hope work together, and you just go out there, that's all you
That's
can do.
that's right. That's right. Hold on, we have a question. Let's see. Leslie, have you thought about putting together a baking cookbook ebook? And that is from Courageously Thriving.
Well, Michelle, stop causing trouble. Uh,
Okay. Stop adding to your plate.
So listen, that is actually a possibility. I do sell, it is available. Of course, I'm pushing. I do sell my family's 7-Up cake recipe. It is available on my website. And when I first started, when I really started kind of getting serious about baking, and I started getting my jobs and everything. And I decided what kind of business I wanted to run. I didn't want to do the same thing that they were doing at the cafe. So my children went to like a little nursery school, and the kids always had allergies and stuff. So my goal was to make desserts that people could enjoy, but didn't have the milk, didn't have the eggs, it was vegan, that kind of
Oh,
thing. And
yes,
so what
yes.
I did was years ago, I put together a blog. And so I would have a regular recipe, and then I would convert it, have both recipes underneath each other. The regular recipe, and I would convert it and tell you what you would substitute. So that's a really good idea.
Oh, that is a good idea
I could
because
possibly do that. So
I tell you, I don't bake, so I just know bakers.
yeah.
So,
No, but Michelle, you gave me an idea, and I appreciate that. Because that is like simple. I already have recipes that I use every day. Like my husband will tell you, we have a lot in common. We like watch Marvel movies and anything DC Comics, anything that kind of stuff. But it
yeah.
was like I hooked him with these vegan carrot cupcakes. And my mother's friend is a vegan. For her 60th birthday, I made her these vegan cupcakes, and she shared them. And I do that all the time. I make brownies, all kinds of stuff. And I worked my first job here in Delaware. I couldn't find a baking job that would pay me. So I had to take the first available job. I became a cook at a preschool. And a lot of their recipes, they didn't have, butter and all that. Mm-hmm. So I asked them if I could go off script because, in the daycare, they have you have to follow specific recipes every day. But what I decided to do was take what they already had available and make desserts. And they were all vegan because that solved the issue of any children who had allergies or anything like that. So I would throw together, I can make a mean vegan brownie,
oh my goodness.
I can turn every kind of cake, red velvet, carrot, chocolate, into a vegan recipe. I had a family, it was 6 of them. It was the mom, the dad, and 4 children. And every birthday I would make all their desserts for them. Oh. So it can be done. I've been hustling for a long time. You were saying,
Ben, you still do.
Oh, well, listen, and that's the other thing that's why I'm always so passionate. And, we have our private group. I'm always passionate because people put themselves at a limit and they even use their family as their excuse. I raised 5 children. So what I did was I worked around them, but I showed them what possibilities were, when I was struggling, I've been divorced. So when I was struggling attending church, I said, listen, I would talk to who was ever in charge of whatever ministry and say, listen, I need to make a couple of dollars. Is it possible for me to set a table outside of church? If you need to make some money, you can find a way. I am living proof that there's no excuse, and you can do it in a legal way and come home with currency.
Yeah, legal being the key word.
So, and I used to work in certain neighborhoods. So it's you turn the corner and things things happening. So I never had to put myself in a place that I had to break the law or anything. I could make some money. I used this to make that,
right.
And it's still, I still preach that to you today. I would never speak to you in a way that I've never spoken to myself. You have to, you can only teach what you've lived.
Yeah. All right. Oh, that's the best. That's the best learning experience is sharing your experience, your backstory, whatever that is with others, because you just never know who is going to learn, who that's going to affect. Swag Slayer Fashion said, Leslie, you need a pusher too. Michelle has volunteered. Because
believe me, I have a pusher. Wendy Span, Salt Creek Style is my pusher. Every couple of days, she jump into my DMs, what you doing, what you up to. So just like I push her, she pushes me. But that's what this group is about. Michelle Courageously Thriving. She knows I love her. We have a similar story, and that's how she talks about how she started following. We both have a daughter on the autism spectrum. They have Asperger's, highly functioning, and we have so much in common. So that's what this community is about. And I tell people that my community is 20,000 strong, but if you want to get me on a personal level, just keep showing up. Keep showing up. You never know, if we land on a Zoom together, whatever. I'm all about community, but I can't community 20,000.
Right.
I can come together with 100 real quick. That's how Michelle found me. That's how Nikki found me. Just like I'm like your best friend. Don't fan me. Just be my friend.
Exactly.
Because those numbers don't mean anything. The numbers are there just because I keep showing up authentically. But if you want to see me authentically, don't say, girl, I'm a fan of yours. No, just say, let me be your friend. Let's just
and that's my favorite.
Let's chill.
Yeah, and that's my favorite part is just the engaging. That's just what it's about. I think that I try to show up every single day. And whatever way I'm going to show up, because we don't know, because I might wake up just like yesterday and say, I think I'll do this, So you just have to continue to show up and be consistent, show up and show you.
Yes, and that's it. Transparency is really important. I really think that's important.
Let me just say that Locked In Label said, please ship cookie dough. Glow Girl Glow says, carrot cake recipe. Brittany wants some vegan treats.
See, I just started something, didn't I?
And then Aaron and Spoiled and PDX says, now I'm hungry. So we have just made everyone just hungry at this point.
Hey.
But I mean, I'm gonna go back a little bit because to the what Swag Slayer said about you needing a pusher.
Hmm.
That just sounded so ghetto. Pusher.
That's okay. I grew up in the hood, girl. I grew up in the hood.
I mean, coming out of my,
I didn't say
just coming out of my mouth, I'm just
hey.
like, well,
You know,
you
for
know,
y'all, yeah, if you don't know it, I'm from
I,
Philly, y'all. I am from Philly.
I'm gonna switch it to
I
a
done been to the
motivator.
ghetto and the suburbs. Don't even worry about it. We good.
Uh-uh. And Brittany said, if you have a good brownie recipe, I'll buy it today on my keto diet. Okay, Brittany.
Oh, nice.
That is so funny.
Oh, y'all gonna
Okay,
have me sitting down putting together an ebook today,
let me
y'all.
just tell you, I'm just going to wrap this up. Everyone is like, yes, I'm going to need those recipes. That's Michelle. Erin, Spoiled and PDX said, definitely need that cookbook.
Yeah.
Glow Girl said, that's where I'm struggling because, wait a minute, what she said? There's where I'm struggling because there are people doing more with less.
Who's that? Nikki? Nikki, you know what?
I wasn't even going to say nothing. Yes.
I
Man,
know.
we're gonna
know
have a
you're not
meeting in the
commenting
ladies'
on this feed.
room.
I know. You're not commenting on our feed. We got you, girl.
Hey, Anessa, thanks for
I
joining.
did see. I saw a comment somewhere in there.
Nikki,
Oh, that is for Nikki. Okay, that's
yeah, Nikki, that's Michelle. Nikki, you're doing
multi-talented
great to inspire me daily, friend. Exactly. For us multi-passionate people, where do we start? How do we know
people.
which project to focus on first? All right, I'm gonna let you have it.
Well, you start at the beginning. That's where everybody starts. You have to. I say focus on the project that you're most passionate about. And we talked about this last night on our chat. And for
Hmm.
those who out there, we have a personal chat. I got no seriously. Um, our brains want to work faster than our bodies can work
Mm-hmm.
and process. And so as you continue to grow, you're going to start seeing, oh, wow, I can do that. I can take this and now turn it into that, because that's how I got here. I just started as a reseller. That's all I was doing. Now I'm a reseller's passion. But I have my days where, oh my gosh, I want to do these 20 things. But what you have to do is pull that back and really sit down and focus on that thing that keeps coming to you. Nikki and I have had this conversation before. She asked me like how I come up with my names, how I come up with my ideas. If I continue to dream about it, that's the project I focus on. When I go to sleep and in the middle of the night, if 5 days a week I'm dreaming about, let me start an ebook, then I got to get up and start an ebook. That's God or whoever you believe in. I don't want to push anything on you, but that's the universe telling you that this is where you need to be. So you start the ebook, you outline it, and you finish it. Let that sell and give yourself a couple months before you go, okay, now I'm ready for the course. You can only do but so much. That's it.
That's exactly true. And that's how I mean, I think that's kind of how I function too. I think that most of the time, and I say this a lot, but it's true. I will wake up with something.
Yeah.
I will just wake up with it and I'm like, oh, I got to do this. Or I might be doing something else and something will pop into my head.
Yes.
And just like sometimes some of the reels that I've done,
Yeah.
and I was telling my granddaughter, oh, you got to help me with this. And she's like, oh my gosh, here she goes. But things just come to me. And if I keep thinking about it too long, then, you'll never do it. So I just pop up I just pop up. Here we go.
Yeah. One thing I say is keep an ideal book. Well, thankfully now I have my passion planner and I write it in every day. Keep an ideal book and write down all your ideas. And then the ideas that you can implement right now, that's where you focus. If it doesn't cost you any money, if it doesn't cost you, if you don't have to do it on a website that you don't have, if it's something that you can do for free, focus on that first. We get so tangled up in, I need to get this out, but you need to think about your finances. And that especially speaks to Nikki, right? And that speaks to anyone. And I love to talk to the community about that. Like, work where you are right now. This is what I tell children. I was just telling my younger daughter this yesterday. She focusing on something that she's thinking about that she needs to happen in 6 months. Let's focus on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you still need to get through the semester. You need to register for classes for spring. One step at a time. Let's take baby steps. You know all about the baby steps, right, Nikki? That's the budgeting. That's the Dave Ramsey baby steps. And that's all we should be taking. But write it down and then come back to it. So I write it down, and then underneath an idea, I'll say refer to whatever other page, because it may be the second part of that idea. And then when I have the idea where I needed to go, then I start implementing it, right? You can start outlining. And if that is taking too much of your time, or if it's going to cost you money, put that to the side. Don't be afraid to put something to the side, and don't be afraid to delete something out of your life. So what I do is I work my year from January to December, which is a regular year, but some people, they break it down into quarters or whatever. And when December gets here, 2 weeks before the year is over, I sit down and I talk to myself and say, what is important? Where am I making the most money? What's taking the least amount of time? How am I going to progress going into the next year? Now it's time to delete something. And that's how I kind of function. And I've actually held back because I have a new project coming up, which my master class, but I said, you know what? We're moving too ahead of ourselves because you don't have the time to spend on that. Let's pull it back and focus on the right now. And that's what I've been focusing on. I have a desire to make a certain amount of money. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to focus 100% on reselling. But I also have some residual income, which is my ebook. I have 2 ebooks. And on occasion, I do counseling. I just became monetized on YouTube. So I'm looking at all these streams that are coming and saying, you know what? Yes, I do have the ability now to hold off on that new project and work on the projects that are already making money.
Exactly. I'm just going to read this from Wendy. She says, Nikki, which project do you already have? Maybe the groundwork done, or which one will net the most money? Yeah. Or which one do you want to happen the most? I think you just have to, I mean, for me, I think I mentioned this last night in our chat, that I had to streamline. Because while I love engaging and being involved in all these different things, plus school, plus trying to put out, my planner, plus trying to do the groups, I just had to streamline and just get rid of things that I just could do without for right now. Yeah. It's not that I don't want to be involved. It's just that I had to streamline for my own sanity so that I could start here and say, okay, now this is reselling. Under that reselling, Brunch with Diva. Right. Coming out of Brunch with Diva, then there are other things that I have on my plate with the weight loss, accountability, and then my resale plus size group. So those are all the things right there, and then creating digital products.
Yes. Yeah.
So and I truly believe that if you got something going on, Nikki, you have the digital products right there at your fingertips. Baby, start there. Yeah. And continue to grow with that. And I tell you, once you grow with that, yes, the worksheets, as she calls them, the worksheets. Yeah. Once you grow those worksheets and those worksheets start moving and grooving, everything else is just going to fall in line.
Yeah. And then one thing I do want to say, Nikki, and I say this because I love you, and this is for like everyone too. If you have something you're working on, like even Rhonda just kind of like talked a little bit about it, but she didn't put it all out there. Just kind of like stay where you are right now and work with what you have. And also, we do have a wonderful community, but too many hands in the pot, is not a good thing. So once you get the advice you need, move on to that, and then you make your final decision based on that, because we're always going to come, and I'm pretty sure everyone in the community is, but we're always going to come from a place of love and truth. And because I'm always going to speak life and truth, no matter what. That's what you're going to get from me. So
and
you don't hear it from me.
and you know what? I'm sure that I'm going to just take the privilege and speak for everyone on this, is that is your superpower, is the fact that you continually show up and pour life into all of us. I mean, I'm all about pouring life into people, but baby, look, sometimes you just have my cup running over. But, and I love that, because you know what? You will always say one thing, and I'm going to speak for me, Rhonda, one thing, and it'll make me be like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. You know, and then it just sets the wheels in motion for me. And, you know, I mean, the other night you just gave us, honey, you didn't drop nuggets, like I said, baby. You gave us the whole shebang-a-langa.
Rhonda's making me cry, y'all.
And you are, I mean, that is your gift. That is your superpower. That is, when you think of Leslie, I mean, you cannot help but think of her pouring life into you. Oh, she gave me this. Oh, she inspired me to do this. You are just like, oh, you know what? You're just a living legend.
Yeah, she gonna make me cry. So no, seriously, like, age, that comes a lot with age. You know, when I was young, we're young. We
Yes.
Because if you look at me now, like, right, I imagine me with hair, but I look right now, I actually look like my father. Normally when we talk to each other now, and I say, Dad, it's like looking in the mirror, hey, because I look like him. But I struggle with that because I have the big lips and I have these huge hands, big feet. And that was a hard thing because I got teased in school. And so, imagine what these kids are going through now with social media. But like, I didn't know who I was because even in my own household, my mother, I love her. She didn't go, you're beautiful. You're good right where you are. Keep working. I had to figure that out. And I found that in sometimes in the wrong places. And so my father, I remember when I was 16 years old, I was crying because it was some guy or whatever said something. And I talked about my lips and how I hated them. And he was like, girl, what people pay for your lips.
I was about to say, people pay for that.
Girl. And then eventually it as I got older, I started understanding that. So when I got divorced and I started looking for like who I wanted to invest my time in, it was plenty of guys. I was like, next, because I started to know who I was. And then in my journey, I started pouring into my girls who they are. And so I raised 4 girls, and then I married a man with 3 girls. And I just continue every day to speak the life into them that wasn't spoken to me. And I also in preparation so that when dudes show up or whoever they're going to be with, it's not like they, oh girl, you this, you that. No, I already know that. Yeah, my mom, we already got that established. What you got for me? So that's exactly what you got for me. Like, you're smart. I already know that.
Yeah, next.
Exactly. And that's what I did. So everything that I really just talk about the same stuff that I talk about every day. And Thomas says that. He's like, when he watches my videos, he's like, you're literally the same person. I'm the same person no matter what. I speak life into my children. I respect them as humans. I'm not, I don't cuss around them. I don't do anything inappropriate that I would feel is inappropriate. And so the same life I speak into them, I speak into you. And the other reason that I do it is not to take away from anybody's marital situation, because I've been married 3 times. I claim that. I got 5 beautiful children out of my life, and I would never take that away. From there to here is what I talk about. If I wasn't there, I wouldn't be here right in front of you. Every day everything that I've been through has led me to this moment, being on Brunch.
And I feel that. I feel all of that because let me just say that I have been down that. I was blessed to have parents who did breathe life into me, told me I could do and be whoever I wanted to be. They accepted me for whatever. I made mistakes. I've gone down that road. I've done everything. But at the end of the day, everything that I've ever gone through has brought me to be right here. And I believe that things happen when they are supposed to. Your time is coming. If it's not here, it's on the way.
Exactly. And the main thing that I want to put out for the mommies, I think is really important. We love our children. We love our spouses. Don't matter who you're married to, who your children are. We still have to look at us. We are, our foundation, maybe our family, but our children leave. So I started a crochet business and I was baking when my children were young. Now I couldn't go out on the road and do stuff. I didn't even start vending until they got older. But I was able to sell some cakes and open up an Etsy store. And I started doing things for me. So now that they're gone, I already laid the foundation for myself. So we can't let our family hold us back. And the other thing, I get so many DMs. I love us. I love us women. I love us ladies. I get so many DMs on a daily business. How can I, daily day? How can I, do whatever? Just start. You went to school for something, right? You went to school for something. Did you sew? Did you crochet? Are you an
Can you
artist?
cook? Can
You
you
know,
bake?
yeah,
You
exactly. Just
know,
because you're
it's just,
home now, we sacrifice. And now it's a lot of people who are losing their jobs or whatever, or forced to stay home with their children. What did you do before? The time is now. If not now, when? If not
when.
who? If not you, who?
Yeah.
So I definitely think that, and that's why I continue. I want you to see that I may not be able to speak from the level in which you are at now, but I've been there. So you
Hmm.
can't tell me. I raised 5 children. I've been divorced. I was a single mom for a long time. I homeschooled on purpose without I created my own curriculum, and I ran 2 businesses. When I got divorced, I had 2 jobs. I worked 6 days a week, and I ran 2 businesses. So
Ooh,
you
child, I'm
can't
just
tell me
exhausted.
you can't do it. You can do
Oh,
it.
it can be done. And I tell you, my daughter's on here now. And sometimes I say to her, she'll just start talking, blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah, 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 blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah. And sometimes I think, now I wanted to raise her to be independent or
Mm-hmm.
have independent thinking
Right.
and, just say whatever, so we can keep the
Right.
conversation flowing and go. But sometimes, child, I'm like, now wait. What? Sometimes I'm like, wait, but you know what? I tell you that my dad was a great influence over all of us.
Mm-hmm.
My granddaughter's a little younger. She was in school, of course, when he passed away. But my dad was one of those people that held 3 or 4 jobs at one time,
Yeah.
So the idea of working,
Yeah.
now he fell short and he didn't want me to work while I was in school and things like that. But you know what? He set that foundation
Yeah.
because my daughter, I'm gonna tell you, she is a go-getter, and I'm proud of her for the things that
Beautiful.
she's accomplished and the things that she's done. But I tell you, you need people in your life
Yeah.
to pattern yourself
Yeah.
after sometimes, or influence you, or inspire
Exactly.
you, do all those things.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
It's important.
I mean, I can't say enough how much I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that I speak for everyone. And Anessa says, Leslie is my
Oh,
inspiration.
thank you, love.
And Michelle says, Leslie is always saying exactly what I need to hear. Yes, hallelujah. God crossed out, God crossed out my past for a reason. Yes, love you, friend. Oh my God, I know. It's just so crazy. Erin says, I agree. Leslie says things we know in our hearts, but our brain hasn't got the message. She says it so our brain can get it. That's why
Yes,
it makes so
exactly.
much sense. Hallelujah,
And
Erin.
that's
You are
why I say it
so right.
over and over again too. That's why
Yes,
and you can do the thing. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. Fail
exactly.
forward. You can't step
And
out of your comfort zone until you take the next step.
Garage Grease
Okay?
says, y'all are gorgeous. Always know that.
Oh,
Oh, thank
I
you
already
so
know that.
much.
I know that, boo.
I know, and people said we're twinning
Hello.
today.
Hello.
Hey. Nessa said, God loves watching us. Thank him for unanswered prayers. Oh, yes, you are so right.
Yes.
Brittany says, Leslie hits you with those inspirational facts. Yes, girl, don't she do that? Hey, thanks for joining Herbal Threads. Leslie, you are giving to others what you wanted in your life.
Yes.
And it's all good. I believe God honors
Oh.
you. Oh,
Oh,
yes, Wendy.
thank
That's
you.
a message,
Everybody's
honey.
going. You're going to make me cry today. It happened.
That's a message. Well, I just kind of wanted to scroll through here really quick, but we have a couple of questions we want to get to. Oh, my daughter laughing. Don't laugh, girl. Wendy said, thank you, Wanda Legend, for this great therapy session. Same time next week, girl. We could go on a show and have a whole
Oh
podcast.
my God, for real, for real. Hey.
Anessa said, I got out the bed today because I said that's what Leslie would say if she was standing here. Oh, get out the bed. I don't know. Sometimes Leslie's like, I'm gonna just stay
Oh,
right here.
I was in my bed all day yesterday. Sometimes you
Oh
got to
my
do
God.
that. You got
And
to
the
self
post
love.
of you in the bed the other day just took me out. I was like, well, that's what it is.
Hey, you got to
Uh-uh.
you got to show self love.
Yes. Okay, let's go to the questions.
Yeah.
Evolving always, Terry said, Leslie, what would you do if money was not an issue? I hope this, okay, she hopes this was not sent twice. Yeah, it was sent twice. It was sent twice, Terry. But what would you do if money was not an issue? That's a good question.
It's an excellent question, and I may answer.
Yes.
I live very simplistically. I don't require a lot in life, so really, my first goal, if money wasn't an issue, I would demand that my husband stop working. Like
Hmm.
he's a retired firefighter. He gave 25 years of service, and he was in the military as Air Force. And he's always going and always concerned about things, and that would be the first thing, just to make sure that we can live so that he doesn't have to work. And then the second thing I would do is totally pay off. Both my parents are still here. They're each married to individual people. Pay off their mortgages if they have it, and make sure they have enough money cushioned in the account. My children wouldn't know it, but I would definitely put money aside for them. We talk about generational wealth. I want them to work, but I also want, if they ever got in trouble, that I could say, oh, I have some money. Nothing material, just to have a house is paid for, and just to have a car that I can drive and maybe take some trips. I'm not very big. Just to live. I mean, I am debt free. I don't owe anyone anything, but the debt free of everything, where I wouldn't have to worry about. I could just, if I wanted to stop working today, I could.
Right. I feel you on that. I think that at this point in my life, I think that I would make sure that my daughter and my granddaughter were set.
Yep.
They do whatever they want with
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
coins.
Because I don't
And
want anybody coming back home. I mean, that's just the thing. All the
I
mommies
want
that
them to
work
each
in
have their
corporate,
own, I would want each of them to
yeah,
have their own
for
spot
real. Yep.
and just save a room for me because what
That's
I'm
it.
going to be doing is traveling.
That's exactly. And that's what I say to the mommies. The mommies that get upset. Your children are leaving. You've raised them to live that life, but when they move, like my son is in upstate New York. Soon as the spring hit, I'm on that plane going to see my son. I haven't seen my
Right.
son. It'll be 2 years. He's in the Army. Or my daughter's moving to Arizona next year. That's a trip. My baby she's home virtually, but she's accepted to college in Miami. Miami girl, y'all better get on that plane and go visit and let them stay over there.
Okay. And wait,
But
it's so funny. Wait a minute, where is she? I lost it. Oh, World Division Exposure said we always come back home. Well, that has been true in my life.
yeah. See,
I
I
went
had to
back
live.
home
I
a
had
few
to live at
times,
home.
honey, so
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah.
But
I
let
had
me
to
just
live
tell
at
you, if
home
money
since
was
I
no
was
issue,
young.
I'd make sure that those two girls of mine
Yeah,
would be set. And I'm like, save this is
yeah,
my bedroom here,
yeah.
this is my bedroom here.
Yeah,
And I'm on the plane because
yeah.
my
But
daughter
see,
wants to move to Fiji. So if
oh,
she wants to move to
nice.
Fiji, okay,
Moving
girl,
to
I'll holler
Fiji.
at you.
Hey. Look, Fiji definitely, but yeah, it's nothing wrong with that. But that would be my desire. So they would say, "Mom, I need to come home." I'm like, "Well, what you need? What you? Oh, I got you. What?
Oh, I got you,
Yeah,
right.
there you go. That's the
And Miss
goal.
Elizabeth '01 is my daughter, you guys. So she said,
Hey,
same for me. The coins go to my mom and my
yeah.
baby girl. Exactly. I think that's awesome. Okay, so my I sit and I was sitting and I was thinking, I'm like, I wanted us to just explore so many things because, there's just so much that, I want to talk about with you. But, I had to narrow it down and
Okay.
things. So my thing is this. When you sit and you decide, okay, this is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is the journey that I want to be on
Mm-hmm.
as far as all of the things that you're passionate about.
Mm.
And of course, we already know that you kind of start where you are, work with what you have.
Yeah.
What is it that what continues to keep you motivated on all of these things that you're passionate about?
Mm. The first thing that keeps me motivated is that I can do them. That you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
that. For some people, 51 isn't older. For some people, 60 isn't older. Because I start my day with gratitude. I'm so thankful to be here and just the ability to be able to do something. You know,
Right.
and again, since my children left, then I still have a life left. And
Mm-hmm,
so
mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is it that I could do every single day that's going to bring me joy? Because I don't do anything that doesn't bring me joy. I
Right.
don't do anything that doesn't put me in like a good space. If it does, I try it for a little bit and push it away. But just the fact that I can do it, that my mind is working. Like It's a lot of women here. I'm going through like a perimenopause. So a couple years ago, I started, like, I thought that I was getting dementia or Alzheimer's or something, but my doctor's like, no, girl, you're just going through the change. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
brain fog. So
Yep.
that's when I started my podcast, and I keep showing up because I want my brain to function. So sometimes when you hear me like miss a word or whatever, that's what it's from, because my mind, all of a sudden forgot what that word was. So
Right.
I continue to do things that make me talk, that make me be on screen so that I can stay present. And then, so the fact that I can do anything is incredible to me. And I just love it. I'm having so much fun on this journey that I didn't know would be my journey. And I want to be
Right.
specific about that. Sometimes, and not saying that I didn't know I could do it. I know I can do all things, right? That's the important thing. But this journey of a reseller's passion, all I did was start off selling some clothes with my husband, and I showed up at a Passion Sip, and the story is history from there.
And
So
I
it's,
feel that. I feel
yeah,
all of that because
yeah,
that's how I feel. I feel like, I started off selling all my big clothes and, who I would have never
mm,
thought that I would be like here.
yes,
Never
yeah,
thought that in a million years.
yes.
Just wanted to sell some clothes, make a little coin, and that was it. I never envisioned
Right.
that I would be here, right here, brunch with Diva.
And you knew you would do something, but you didn't
Yeah.
know it would be this.
Right,
Right.
right,
Exactly.
exactly. Garage Grease says, "What keeps you from dropping on the floor exhausted by Friday?"
Um, taking a couple of days off. Like yesterday, I literally relaxed all day long. I pulled my MacBook out just to look at something. Then I closed it and I relaxed all day. I watched television all day long. And it's like what we have to do is, because we want to do so much, we have to give permission to ourselves. I give
Mm-hmm,
myself
mm-hmm.
permission to take off. If I wake up in the morning, and what I will say, I'm home full time. I'm not a full time reseller. I'm a full time entrepreneur. I run a business. Reselling is just a small part of the businesses. I got about 13 jobs, y'all. So I'm home, and that's what I'm thankful about. That when I get up in the morning, I've done all my stuff. I have no babies. I can get up when I want to. And
Mm-hmm.
so that is, I get up and go, you know what? I'm tired today, and I'll just relax. And I did that yesterday. And then today I got up with energy. I knew I would be on here with Rhonda. But I just give myself permission just to relax. So at least 2 days a week. Now, yesterday was a whole day. So some people say they always have to go. What I would say then is do what I do. I may take a whole day off, and then another day, it is my day off, but
Mm-hmm.
that'll be the day when I'm just sitting in my nice, comfortable chair with my TV going. And
Right.
that's when I share my closet. I've put enough items in drafts so I can sit there and list. I'm not taking photos that day. On a Monday, I'll probably take about 30 photos, and that'll get me through the rest of the week. So when I say, you know what? I don't feel like steaming or doing anything. I'm good. And I can turn on, my room is like a lounge. I can just sit in there, and I'm home. I make my own hours. And then it'll be other days when I'm more structured. And when I got
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
started, I was more structured because I had to make sure I figured everything out. Now I kind of work in a sense of how I want to. I make sure I get a lot of stuff done before 2. And then for the rest of the day, if I want to stop, I will.
Right. I know, and sometimes it's hard. I have actually had to sit down and make a plan for
Yeah.
myself, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to talk about it too much because I'm going to do a video. But, it's just time management for me,
Yeah.
and, all the things that, I try to fit into the day
Mm-hmm.
because I actually want to have that one day where I'm not doing anything.
Anything.
My daughter gets on me. She said, "Oh my God, I'm always talking to Pink Diva Studio. Where's my mother?" You know?
I heard that my children the same way. Like, what? You got 20,000 followers. What's all that about, right? You on,
So
wait,
I'm
I'm
just
calling you. You live?
right, right, and which is hilarious to me what she says, but then I start feeling like, oh, well, I'm talking to you. I'm just working though while I'm talking to you. Cal Anderson 33 said, "Thank you for this. She is truly inspired." Um, oh yes, Aaron. We women go through pregnancy brain, followed by mommy brain, then a break, then perimenopause break.
Yeah,
Girl, we go through it, honey.
for
Let me just
real.
tell you,
For
I've
real.
been there, done that. Glad it's over.
Yeah, at least I don't have to at least I'm not virtual homeschooling, because I don't even want to hear any more new math. I'm done with all that.
Oh
You in
no.
college, you don't need my help. That's what I tell my
Right, right,
daughter. You
exactly.
made it that far.
Glow Girl Glow says, I love hanging around people who are out here living their best life, doing everything that makes them happy. Honey, let me tell you, at this age, and y'all know how old I am, 60,
Yes.
I am not engaging anything that is not making me happy.
Hey,
If it is not evolving me, it does not involve me.
talk about it.
I just can't.
For real.
I just don't have it to
For
give.
real. And the cool thing is the fact that you can say, I just can't. You don't have to make any explanation. You don't have to apologize. I just can't.
I just can't.
No.
I just can't. It's just not in me anymore to do. I mean, I think that if I think at any age you can feel this way. Don't get me
You can.
wrong. At any
Exactly.
age you can feel this way. But for me, at this age,
For
when they
real.
used to say I pay the cost to be the boss, I have done that.
Yes.
And so now I don't want to entertain
Yeah.
anything or
Exactly.
shame to say anyone who is just not breathing any type of
Yeah.
life into me
Yeah.
or even breathing life into
Yeah.
themselves.
Right. And I can definitely piggyback off of what Rhonda says. I'm at the space that I love giving back to the community. I'm not
Yes.
afraid to like charge for stuff. And that's why I do go mainstream. I'm actually teaching people who are non-resellers to do things. A lot of my business is totally outside of this community. But what for me is I love, yes, oh boo, I love you, how you doing and all that. But if you tell me you're going to do something in 6 months, you're still talking about the same thing, then we might have to part ways, or I have to love you from over here, because it can't, you know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
like
I totally get that.
you
I
can't
totally
send me
get that.
messages every day and go, oh, I'm gonna get there. I want to work with people because I've poured life into you. You know, I can't pour anything else into you. You feel so now you got to take that and pour it into somebody else, or pour it into your work, or grow. There are ladies here who have contacted me and asked me questions, and I say do A, B, C, and D. Bam, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and they still.
Right, exactly.
And that's what I like, you know. And I tell you, if you want to show up, if you want, I have no problem talking to people and answering questions. You can hang with me. We can Zoom, but I can't hold hands. I can't hold hands.
Yeah.
That's the only way
I
you're going
just
to
think
grow
that
is to grow.
I think that the thing too is just like anybody, you
Mm-hmm.
know, they can come to you and ask you what to do,
Exactly.
all this thing, and you could give them all of this,
Yeah.
and then, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I can only
I've
answer
had a
you.
lot.
I can only answer you.
Yeah,
It's
I've had
not,
that a lot, and then they'll blame you, and I'm like, okay, sis, let me tell you, I don't play,
and then
I don't
they'll
play the
blame
game, I
you.
don't play the blame game, not even in relationships. I was married, it was both our fault, you know, so it's over, done deal. You
Yeah,
didn't do
yeah,
whatever. Listen, I gave you the information, the tools that you needed. I gave you my
right,
time. I didn't
right.
charge you for anything. I gave you my time, and then if it didn't work out for you, or if you didn't implement it, I don't know what to tell you.
And mind you, my time is valuable too.
It is very valuable. And everyone here, I want you to understand that if you have a trade, if you have something you can teach, something that you know well, everyone's an expert in something. You're an
Yeah.
expert in your own business. You're an influencer. Stop believing all this. Stop making all these people famous and popular or whatever. When you look at Rhonda and I, we're regular people. That's how I want you to see me. I don't want you to see me as a
Yeah,
top
me too. Me
posture,
too.
as a big posture, as a famous posture. I'm Leslie. I am Leslie Tucker of Reseller's Passion. And that's who I am. I'm not this, that, or the other. And so if you're going to get out there, if you have something that you have to contribute, do not be afraid to charge for it. And this is the other thing. If this is not the community for it, then you need to go out. Get your
Yeah,
Twitter set, get your LinkedIn set, get your TikTok set, get some
right.
reels out there, baby. Work that Pinterest, get you a YouTube channel, start you a podcast. Don't don't limit yourself to this. So when
And
people
this
see
brings
me,
me
that's it.
and this brings me to something else that
Yes.
I think that platforms. Now, I mean, I'm on Pinterest and I utilize my Pinterest. Of course, we sell on various platforms.
Yes.
We have the social media, we have Instagram or Twitter,
Mhm.
Facebook, whatever your chosen social media is. I just think that you should utilize all of that.
Yes.
If
Yes.
that's what you want to do to push
Yes.
your brand, forward.
Exactly.
First of all, know what your brand is,
Know what your
know
brand
who
is.
your audience is,
Yes.
and always project in that direction.
Yes.
Because people, you just never know who will find. I mean,
Oh,
like I
God.
made a sale from somebody sharing posts of mine,
Yeah.
and they looked me up on Poshmark, and there you go. So you
Yeah.
just never know who is looking, who's looking
I'm a,
for you, who's looking
let me
for
tell
something
you.
you have.
Yes.
You just
That's
have to utilize this.
Yes, and that's what because I'm sure we're ending soon, but I'm gonna tell you, I just do my everyday stuff. I started a podcast just because, and that just to tell you that if you have a story to tell your story. Don't worry about what
Yeah,
other people are doing.
don't.
Someone contacted me who I'd never heard of before. Now I know that she's actually a big person who does Pio and Beachbody and all that, and she invited me to be on her podcast. I didn't seek her out. She sought me out. I thought it was somebody was playing a joke on me. Then I
Right.
went to her podcast, and literally when the day that the podcast went live, my ebook starts selling. Yes, I have an ebook. I have a Pinterest ebook. Come on, y'all. I it started the ball rolling, and so now that started my second part of my business to
Mm-hmm.
go outside of the reselling community and teach what I know. See,
Right.
we try to stay within the box. Don't be boxed in.
No, don't do that.
Don't be boxed in, because if you sell on Poshmark and you're trying to sell me a course on how to sell on Poshmark, I'm not buying it because I already
No,
sell
I'm
on
not either.
Poshmark. So what you need to do is you need to go out to the people who are not selling anything. See, so I'm on Pinterest. People are going to find me. They're going to find my
Mhm.
podcast. They're going to find my YouTube. When I show up on YouTube, on here on Instagram, it looks like I'm having fun. I am. I'm being true to myself. I'm showing you who I am. But that's all strategic. That's on purpose. The logo, the colors, the YouTube channel, I'm growing. I'm learning every day. It's evolving. But that's on purpose. That's not me just hanging out having fun. You don't know what's
Right.
going on behind the scenes.
Right. I
Many
mean, and that's
pages
what
are
I'm
waiting for
doing.
me.
I'm just kind of cultivating everything right
Yes,
here, right now, and
exactly.
everything that I do has just been very intentional.
Yeah,
One day I just said, you know what? It's got to be intentional. I have to be
exactly.
strategic about everything that I
Yeah,
do.
yes.
I've started, my posts
Hmm.
eventually will lead to my YouTube
Yes.
channel, Brunch with Diva. Please
Hey,
do subscribe.
for
And,
real.
so I mean, everything that I try to do now
Hmm.
has got to be along those
Yeah,
lines.
yeah.
And that goes for personal life,
Hmm.
that goes for my business,
Yeah.
because the thing is, sometimes people who aren't in this community right here get it twisted. Oh,
Hmm.
what you do?
Yeah,
What? What?
yeah.
I don't, they can't grasp
Yeah,
that.
because that's the box, and that's why I'm trying to tell you. See, Rhonda and not like the other thing about it is we didn't come in being resellers. You know what I'm saying? There's so many people who haven't come in being resellers. They worked a job and they just picked this up and they wanted to sell some clothes and they saw the possibility.
Hmm.
But you don't have to leave it there. You can take a talent that you have over here and mix it with your reselling business, and bam,
Right.
I have 2 successful Etsy stores. I sold on Etsy way before I even knew my husband. So I wasn't reselling. So
Right.
when I opened up my second store, I already knew how to work that. In 3 weeks, I made $1,500 selling some tie-dye shirts on Etsy. Not because it was a wave, because I knew how to work that SEO, baby. So that's you just kind of take what you know. And I love the fact that Rhonda is like doing everything that she's doing intentional. This is I don't come to play. I like to have fun, but also you're relatable, and that's the key to it. If you stay relatable, just stay yourself, because
Yeah.
tomorrow if you change up, people gonna be like, I can't fake my way through this. See, that's the thing. That's my reality to you. I
Hmm.
can't fake my way through this. I got acne. There's no makeup on. Look, my Vaseline been gone a long time ago from me talking. Okay, but I can't
Right.
fake my way through this social media thing. When you see me, that's it.
And
I can't lie
you
about it
can't
because
just do
there's,
that. And
yeah,
I was saying that the other day, is that you can't always fake it till you make it.
yeah,
Sometimes you got to
no,
face it.
yeah. You got to face it.
Face
Oh,
it. You got to
yes,
show up, fail,
yes,
show up, fail, show up,
show
fail,
up,
whatever that
yes,
is. Keep it real,
yes,
be honest, be true. I
yes,
try to be as transparent as I possibly
yeah.
can. Look, I said on camera that I used to weigh 464 pounds,
But that's your
but that's
truth.
just my reality.
That's the truth. And
Yeah.
the thing is, because when you reveal, and that's the other thing. because I know we're closing up soon, and that's why I love to just do this thing where if you have something, don't be afraid. So many people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. You know, I'm telling my story because I even have another brand, Am I Really Bald, where I talk about my alopecia
Right.
story. But I'm talking about things, I'm telling my story, even with the people who are still, you know, their chapters. I'm letting them live their chapters, but I'm telling my story. Oh, how can you tell your story? Your mother's still alive. Well, it happened to me. It's my story to tell.
Exactly.
Now, I can't, you know, if she's getting upset for her chapter, there's nothing I can do about that. I can still be real about, because it happened to me. All I'm telling is my part.
Mm-hmm.
And what I saw and how I felt. If I was abused, I was abused. Well, I'm not going to tell anybody about that. But stop holding your story back.
Right.
Stop holding your story back because you're afraid of something. You're not afraid of them. You're afraid of what? How you're going to appeal?
You're afraid of how people are going to see
one person needs
you.
to hear it. Just one. You know how many people have sent me messages in the 2 years? January of 2019 is when I started. It'll be 2 years and about 8 weeks that I started this journey. I'm not famous. I started from the beginning. Bam. I started Instagram, put my stuff in just like everybody else.
Right.
And I started living this journey. You know how many people have sent me DMs of how I saved their life? To me, that is so humble. I'm so humbled by that me just showing up and revealing my truth and saying truth to me. You don't have to impress anybody else.
Mm-mm.
But if they come along, that is the beauty of it. The field of dreams, if you build it, they will come.
They will come. Exactly. Diana said, I hate that I was 46, excuse me, before I started living intentionally instead of just living to survive.
But you're
I'm
doing
so
it now.
glad I'm finally here. I'm so glad you are
You're
too,
here.
Diana.
That's all that matters is now.
And Aaron says, wish I had understood this decades ago. Michelle, yes, Leslie.
That's
Hey,
learning. That's
Christy.
learning.
What was this? Love this, ladies. It's truly about being yourself and living in your truth. Yes, it is. I think that that's what it is. I mean, I think that once you realize that living in your truth frees you from, almost frees you from bondage. It frees you. I tell you, it's an amazing thing.
Bondage. I love that you said that. That is the word. It's you know, and it's also, we're so worried about what society is going to say, you know, and the biggest thing, one thing is, if you don't want to be my friend, don't tell me what somebody else did. I cannot stand that at all. I do not like gossip. I do not like drama. Please never send me a DM and ask me why I took a photo with someone because of what that you heard they did. Don't ever do that, because then I'm looking at you like, dude, we can't be friends anymore. Right. I can't even hang with you. So we just have to just look at we're in our own way. Get out of your own way and don't worry about anybody else.
Yes, definitely get out of your own way. Now that's very important right there, because we can be our worst critic. We can be, you know, speak life into yourself. Don't put yourself down. If there's something you want to do it. If you're afraid to do it, do it.
Do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Yes, yes. Okay, it's never too late. You're right. Let me hit this question mark real quick, and we're gonna get this. Wait a minute. I have so many up here. Okay. Okay. So Maureen says, are any of you ladies going to have any online course of your skills within a year?
Yes. By January, I'll have my course. I'm going to just first take my ebook and turn it into a course. But I already have 5 courses outlined and some webinars. And just being on here, I got an idea of a couple of ebooks that I'm going to start throwing together.
I got nothing.
So you have, and you know what? It doesn't, and this is the other thing, it doesn't also have to be a course. I think, like, honestly, what we're putting out to you is the freebies. If you go to my YouTube channel, everything is there for free. So you're already in my community. It's easy just to go to the link in my bio and click it. Everything that I have to offer, that's free. Now, the other people who don't know me, as I'm putting stuff out on the Twitter and I'm marketing my business, those are the new people that are paying for the services. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you've ever bought an ebook, I'm so glad you bought it, because now it's double the price that it was. It went up and I've already gotten sales. I was afraid to charge because I'm thinking, oh, you know, but know why? Because the people in the community, it's outside now. So those people who are like, you know what? I need to make some money. Let me buy this book. and it's on a whole nother platform. But everything I have to offer you is on my podcast and on my YouTube channel for free, friends. For
Right.
free.
Oh, thank you. She said, great. Thanks. You should too, Rhonda. Oh, you know what? It's something's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something's coming.
She got plans for
I
stuff.
don't exactly have a class to teach,
Yeah.
but I do.
She got stuff coming. I
got you. I got you.
She's on it because she in my group. So,
so you know what I have learned, y'all, is that I have nothing to offer up right now. Until I finish the other things that I'm doing. Because if I say it, she'll be like, okay, so Rhonda, when is that coming?
I'm sorry. You know what? And I'm telling you, I have this beautiful private group. I'm sorry that everybody can't join. We could probably do a Zoom. You guys want to do a Zoom? I'll put that out there. We can do a Zoom in a few weeks.
My daughter said she followed you.
I say, if you don't want to do it, don't say it to me. It's really important because the only reason I'm on you is because I want to push you and I continue that life. You're hesitant. Nikki will tell you. Nikki was like, yeah, I'm putting something out in about December. I was like, yeah, I think September sounds good. I love saying that. I think September sounds good. She had something out in September.
Yes, she did.
It had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with me. It was her vision, but why are you holding it out? You need to make that money.
Right, right.
Take a couple days, man. You know how many, you can put an ebook out. I had a goal last year. I said, this year, my ebook will be out in March, right? First week in February, I said either March, early April. I sat down, that ebook was released in 3 weeks. I've sold 700 copies of my ebook since I released it. Being on that one podcast sold 200 copies. And
that's
in the community,
amazing.
So if you sit down and you focus, it could be accomplished. And I have so much more stuff that I want to do.
And I think that's amazing because you know what? I started writing an actual book during my weight loss journey. So now I'm taking that same book. I'm just kind of restructuring it to include, what's going on this journey of it.
Yes.
So, it'll be out there,
I can't wait to Rhonda bust loose, man. I'm waiting for some stuff because I'm like, yeah, I'm there for it.
My daughter, Miss Elizabeth 01, says she just followed you, Leslie.
Hey, Miss Elizabeth 01, I got you, girl.
And Ray _ Dina, you're so cool. You are so cool. Thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate it. Yes, BNG 12-15-8 fines. Ooh, girl, that was a lot. One step at a time, Rhonda. Yes, honey, that's all we all can do is take one step at a time, one day at a time.
But you gotta take that step.
But you gotta move forward.
Yes, the only way to step out of your comfort zone. Now, the word is step. You got to step. You can't stay there. You got to move some kind of way, right?
I mean, the red light says stop, not stay.
That's right.
Hello. So we got to keep it moving, babies. We got to keep it moving.
We can take this thing on the road, y'all.
All right. Well, you guys, I just want to take this time. Thank you, Jennifer, for joining. I love you too. You rock. I appreciate each and every one of you who showed up today for Brunch with Diva. As always, I have had a awesome time. And I hate that the comments, IG needs to step up and save these comments because we have had some awesome comments. I know I've missed some, but I've tried to get everyone in. And Spoiled and PDX said, let me go back because I have got to read this. I love Erin. She is so sweet. She said, you guys just lit a fire under me. I wrote a novel in 2015, but I've been sitting on it out of fear, but I'm going to send it out now, baby. I'm going to be in my Leslie voice. When is that going to happen now? Have you sent it out? You're sending it out right now, right, Erin?
Things have changed since you wrote that book. Self-publishing is the way to go. You don't have to pay anyone. So go in. Blurb is a good one. Send me a DM. I got you.
DM. She got you. When she says she got you, honey. Yeah. So go ahead and do that. I appreciate you all. I mean, I have had a wonderful time. I hope that you walk away with some inspiration. I hope you walk away feeling fully fed.
Can I say one more thing?
Oh, you got it.
I want to tell Rhonda, I just thank you so much for inviting me on. This has been such a pleasure. I've teared up. I've been humbled. I've been filled life has been talked into me. And I just want to encourage everybody, just be your best self, be your authentic self, be your
Yeah.
true self, be true to you. Sometimes the world isn't always kind, but you always have yourself. Our families, they love us, but they can't always understand what level we're at. So we have to love ourselves. And the last thing, which my group already knows, you do the thing that you think you cannot do. That's not me, that's Eleanor Roosevelt, but that's my life quote. It's everywhere in my office. And I look at it and I push myself every day to be better than I was the day before. That's all you can do. One day at a time, one step at a time. If not you, who?
And we're going to wrap it up right there, you guys. If you don't already follow Leslie,
Hey.
please do so. A Reseller's Passion, where you will get so uplifted, so up daily.
Food for your soul. Food for your
Follow
soul.
her on her YouTube channel, A Reseller's Passion. Again, watch y'all. Just go over there and watch the video.
Yeah, just tell Alexa or Google or somebody to play
Yeah,
it.
just tell them to play it while you're steaming some clothes, while you're listing,
Google
whatever
me.
the
Just put
case
in
may
a
be.
Reseller's Passion. I'll come up all over.
And when you have time, go ahead and subscribe to Brunch with Diva, because this will be
Brunch
on
with
there soon.
Diva. It's some good content coming. Look, let me tell you, stop over at Reseller's Passion YouTube channel where Rhonda was on my chat. Check that out. And then slide in over her YouTube. Some great content is coming. She's about to blow up and do great things. She inspires me every day. All the ladies in my group do. If they didn't know that, I love you guys so much.
I know. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Leslie. And I'll see you guys in the chat and on IG. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.